Hello and welcome to the Tech Sherpa Show, episode 65. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd. My name is Kern Kelly. This is typically where I have a fellow student who will join us and kind of introduce a topic for today. This week, my students are finishing up their year, the graduation and so forth going on. So we had one record a session beforehand, and that's what we'll show. The topic of today's session is the idea of migration. At the end of the year, every year, you have students that migrate from maybe from one school to another, maybe from one class to another. In this case, they're actually, some of the students are migrating out. They're graduating. Off they go. And so one of the things we really like them to do is take their information with them. In our district, we have, for a couple of years, bought each student their own web domain name. So, for example, johnsmith.com or whatever their name is, and we forward that to their web portfolio. The whole idea is that's their 21st century business card, which they will use to kind of go off into the world and go to job interviews or college interviews, and that's what they'll use, to get them introduced. So what I'm going to do today is kind of share some of the topics, some of the ways that we do that. We kind of transfer their data. We actually have 3 ways, and I will let Austin, who's one of our students who created a nice little video for us, to be able to do that.
All right, hi, I'm Austin Taylor, and I'm a Tech Sherpa at Nokomis Regional High. And I thought I'd do this quick tutorial for you today because as the school year comes to a close, I know students and teachers are often trying to transfer stuff from their Google accounts that they used for school to their new accounts as they move on. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that. If you're transferring to another Google domain, not a regular Gmail account, there's a really easy way to transfer your materials. So you can go to Migration app. Whatever account you're already logged into, it will enter your details, you're going to submit them, and you're going to continue following the instructions. It's very self-explanatory. You're just going to have to enter the info for both of your accounts. Since my example account isn't in a domain, we're going to move to the next way, which is through a Google tool called Takeout. Now this is a really cool tool. You just have to make sure the account that you are taking your data out of is the one that's chosen up here because, like, for example, I have 2 accounts logged in my browser right now. So make sure that this account that's showing is the one that you are migrating data from. And then this tool allows you to select the data that you want to export. So say I want to select none, and then I just want to choose mail and drive. Also, the little down arrows will give you extra options to customize how you want to export stuff, or like the exact stuff you want to take out. So for example, this allows you to select files and folders. Say I don't care about my Latin stuff, and I want my documents as PDFs, not Microsoft Word files, and I want my drawings as JPEGs. Mail allows you to select only, say I only want my starred. That's all I care about and my important. So that's done. So then you're going to hit next. Choose your file type. Zip is fine with me. And then your delivery method, link via email, is probably the easiest, and then you're going to create your archive. Now, the thing to note when you do this is that it takes a while because it's compressing all of your data into one file, but it is useful in keeping everything in one place, and you could just label it high school or whatever you're moving on from, and maybe put it on a thumb drive or something similar. So the last option is specifically for Google Drive. Like these past 2 have been for all of the data in your account. This one only works for Drive, but I think it would be useful, especially for a student who does a lot of their work in Drive. So what you're going to do is you're going to create one folder, call it maybe everything, and you're going to put all of your folders into it. So if this was a real account and didn't have just some dummy things in it, there would be a lot more, but you would want everything in your drive to be a subfolder or subdocument of this big folder. Now, once you've done that, you're going to share the whole folder with your new account. So I've created a dummy account here too. I'm going to send that. Now, in your other account, so I'm going to navigate to my other account, shared with me in the sidebar here. Here's everything. Seems like it's there twice, but that's fine. You're going to right click and you're going to add to my drive. So here we are back in my drive. Here's like all the subfolders I had in there. So it's all there. Now, the problem with this so far is that it's there, but you don't own it. Your new account does not own all of the documents. So what you want to do is you want to navigate to tools.gapstips.com/drive/copy-folder. Because you could go through and manually copy each document to your drive, but that would take a really long time. And since you already have everything in one folder, it's easier to just copy the entire folder with this tool. So you're going to sign in. You're going to pick the new account. Now you're going to select the folder you want to copy, and you want to put it in your drive. Copy all files, preview. So here we're previewed, and you want to go. This might take a little bit, especially if you actually have a lot of content. Now that's done, so if we go back here and refresh, we have everything, which is the one that's shared with you, and a copy of everything. So that's that. Now, the problem is that all of your documents are going to have copy of in front of each item as a prefix. So if you go back, there's another tool, tools.gapstips.com/drive/file name-editor. And you can remove this prefix or any other prefix you, for some reason, would have from each document. So we're going to select the folder, which is copy of everything. Select copy of as your prefix. You're removing it. So notice with this tool, you could also like add a prefix to everything. It's a prefix, not a suffix. You're renaming files, folders, and include subfolders because everything is a subfolder of your copy of everything folder. So you're going to preview that, and then the go button is over here this time. So now we're done. Notice again, this is like a preview of what it's going to do. So Hamlet essay was one of the documents in there, and it was made copy of Hamlet essay, and they changed it just to Hamlet essay. So if you had like a ton of documents, it would take significantly longer. There'd be a lot more in this preview section. So now that's done. You go back and you refresh. So now in my English, oops, not refreshed. There we go. Now we have Hamlet essay instead of copy of Hamlet essay. This, your main folder is still going to have copy of, I believe. It's not refresh. Yes. So you have to manually, right there, rename, and just manually get rid of the copy of. Of course, you could do this with every file. That would just be a pain. It would take a very long time. So this is the folder that it's not owned by you. You could just get rid of it. This now is your own copy of everything that was in your previous Drive account. So the ownership is updated to your new account for all the items, so you have a exact replica in your new drive of your old drive. So that's pretty useful. That's all I've got for you today, and I hope that was helpful.
So thank you, Austin. Like I said, that was really useful. She wasn't here today, but be able to record. She used Camtasia, and thank you, TechSmith, for a copy of that. And that recording, if you need to see that video for any details, and all the links to all the different pieces that she mentioned are right at techsherpas.org, right on the show notes. And that way you can go to the migration tool or the other tools that she mentioned and used today. So hopefully that helps everybody with their transitioning when they take students and they're moving them outside their school domain into their own personal Gmail accounts or whatever variation of that they want to do. So be sure to join us next week. We'll have more topics next Tuesday at 3 o'clock Eastern. Hope to see you there. Thanks a lot.